prices shocked you.
Lowe's has the biggest selection and the best brands of cabinets, countertops, and appliances available anywhere. So you can have the kitchen you want, whatever your budget. We'll even install it. And Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise.
Thank you, Lowe's.
Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on all purchases of $2.99 or more.
As Isabel continues inland, where will it head? Will you be affected? Find out the impact on your weekend and travel plans. We're tracking the storm with live coverage from the field.
Running 6 to 9 where there are no dunes to protect them.
And in-depth expert analysis.
East winds onshore.
Isabel coverage continues. Stay tuned to the Weather Channel as we keep you ahead of the storm. Stay tuned to the Weather Channel for continuing coverage of Hurricane Isabel, right after your local on the 8s.
Currently in your area, 69 degrees, under cloudy skies. Forecast. Your extended forecast.
Hurricane Isabel made a direct strike on the North Carolina coast, causing widespread damage.
Damaging waves, driving winds, and pelting rain have left hundreds of thousands without power as a state of emergency remains in effect in several states.
Virginia Beach, we're still getting winds clocked at over 60 miles an hour. Coming up, we'll talk to NBC's Brian Williams right here on the Weather Channel. Stay with us.
And we are preempting storm stories tonight to bring you special coverage of Hurricane Isabel. I'm Carl Parker.
And I'm Christina Abernathy. Isabel made landfall early this afternoon, but it's still got plenty of punch. And just take a look at the radar. Much of Virginia covered in rain. We still have a tornado watch in effect, and flooding is still a concern.
And the winds are still very high in some spots. The wind gusts could be above 60 miles an hour around the Chesapeake Bay and into southeastern Pennsylvania and southern parts of New Jersey.
And we have a team of meteorologists who have been covering Isabel from the field. And we have Bill Keneally in Ocean City, Maryland, among others.
Our very own Mike Seidel experienced firsthand just how strong some of those winds were earlier today when talking to MSNBC reporter Brian Williams. Take a look.
Brian, can you better explain where you are? You look from our vantage point like you're on a ledge of some sort. You got a wind meter there? Yeah, hang on for dear life.
Introduce to you Mike Seidel with the Weather Channel. Hang on, Mike, what's your reading? Well, we're kind of protected here. I'd say
There's Brian.
Not protected enough. Look at that.
It's been quite an afternoon, quite a day here, and I'm joined by NBC News anchor Brian Williams, who is so kind many nights of the week to have us on his show. So tonight we turn the tables and bring him out here on a lovely Virginia Beach evening. Hey, Brian.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been quite a day. I mean, earlier today you almost let go of me, then you let go of me, and no fault of yours, but those winds were just howling.
It was unbelievable. There we were in this eddy of air. You know the proper term. It was a vortex that these two buildings caused, and you see it up and down the strip.
Right.
It almost accelerated hurricane force winds into this small space, and why we lost it. You went down, I went down, and my wife was more worried about you. That was the first question I got.
Well, God bless her, but neither of us weigh that much. I think you have a producer, you say, that weighs 300 pounds, and he was giving us escorts to and back and forth from the beach. Now, let me ask you, how many hurricanes or tropical storms have you covered? Because many times you're just behind the news desk.
Oh, a bunch, and I guess I was chained to something for Hugo, and I'm not good with names, as they say, but I've covered a bunch of them, and you know, if I wasn't doing what I do, I would be killing the Weather Channel with resumes, because we share a gene for this stuff.
Brian, we really appreciate all the PR you give us, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Long-time viewer, first-time caller.
Thanks a lot. Brian Williams from NBC News. Okay, Bill Keneally in Ocean City. Give us the latest up there in Maryland.
All right, guys, we had a little Bernoulli effect in our alleyway as well, too, but we didn't get it on tape, and I'm probably thankful for that. But nonetheless, we have fared a whole bunch better up here in Ocean City, Maryland, on the Maryland Eastern Shore. Power is out in a sporadic fashion, but by and large, it's not that bad off. And I'll tell you what, why don't I come in and ask our police commissioner. This is our police chief, Bernadette DePino. And Bernadette, you've been driving around this evening. How are things out there?
Well, we're seeing some rain, and we've got some flooding on the south end of town, but we got some wind, but so far things are doing well.
And again, to reiterate, the power is in pretty good shape in most areas?
That's right. We had some minor power outages south end of town at Dorchester Street, but for the most part, most people have their power.
What about the fear of another high tide at 2 o'clock in the morning? Are you guys taking any precautions there?
Yes, we are. We'll be going to watch the area very closely. We have our officers out on patrol, and we're going to make sure that people are safe. So that 2 a.m. is really concerned to us.
And really the bread and butter, other than the beaches, the boardwalk. How's that boardwalk holding up?
It's holding up fine. We're doing really well. Our inlet lot is flooded out, and we're asking people to please stay away from that area and stay in tonight, but the boardwalk's doing good.
But Sunfest will have to wait another year.
Unfortunately, yes, but we are going to have our entertainment down here starting Friday night and Saturday night, and we're encouraging people to think about coming down late Friday, but definitely Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, Bernadette DePino, thank you very much. Again, Bernadette, our police chief here in Ocean City, and hopefully she's got an easier job for the weekend. Now with more on what's happening in the Outer Banks area, let's turn it over to Jim Cantori. Good morning, or good evening, Jim.
Yeah, they all kind of string together when you work them 24 hours, don't they, Bill? No doubt a night tonight, a cool night, a raw night with the wind blowing out of the east. Let's find out how bad it is here on the Outer Banks. Dorothy Tulin joins us now. She's the public information officer here in Dare County. Tell us how bad it's been.
Well, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
We had a lot of high winds. Sustained 90 mile per hour winds at Oregon Inlet.
Damage? What kind of damage are we talking about?
We had a lot of structural damage. We're not able to assess or give any estimates, but we had reports of homes being washed away, some buildings collapsing. So we don't have a firm handle on just the extent of it, but we do know that there is major structural damage.
In places like Kitty Hawk and down toward Cape Hatteras, where the water pushed across, what type of problems are we having with fresh water?
Well, the customers on Hatteras Island at this point are without water. And are you referring to the sound side?
I'm talking about people for fresh water that need fresh water.
Well, the customers on Hatteras Island
they're cutting me off, Dorothy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We'll talk about this later. Okay, folks. Again, obviously there's power outages. We're still assessing the situation here tonight. Let's go down south and talk to Jeff. Jeff.
We'll talk to you in just a few minutes, and we're keeping you advised of the very latest with Hurricane Isabel. Please stay tuned.
What drives us to give every Subaru Forester more standard safety features than any SUV in its class? What drives us to earn the highest possible ratings in every crash test by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety? What drives us to make the best small SUV the Institute has ever tested? We're driven by what's inside. The all-wheel drive